Here we are with another video. Welcome back, guys. Today is Sunday 28th of January. We're coming toward the end of the first month. So we've almost gone through a whole 12th of the year. And I want to know, what have you guys accomplished, first of all? So put that down in the comments. What have you actually gotten up to? But before we get into the actual topic of the video, which, as you read from the title, is going to be structuring your own workout plan, I want to go over the workout I did today. So today was legs, and really good workout. So I'm still kind of getting used to the machines that they have at my gym, my new gym. I didn't train any calves, even though it was a leg workout, but someone else was using the machine, so I'm going to kind of move them over to my back workout on Tuesday. But anyway, legs. We start off with leg extensions, and this is all one major set to absolute failure. It's plate loaded, but it was with 110 kilos for 11 reps. That was really good feeling, a little bit of pre-fatigue on the quadriceps. That felt really good. Then we did belt squats, so that's with a belt that goes around your waist to a chain onto like a metal bar that's in between your legs, which then leads to the rest of the machine. This was my second time ever doing this, and I've been using squat shoes in my knee sleeves, which allows me, so the squat shoes, they allow me to get a really good range of motion from the knee, so I can sit really far and deep into the squat, allowing for lots of like a really good stretch on the quadricep. I did, how much does that say? I believe that says 150, 160? Yeah, 150 for a set of 10, which was, I was pretty happy with that. It wasn't a huge amount, but it was really, really good feeling, just focusing on the eccentric control, pause at the bottom, and then explode up. Then we did leg press, 190 kilos for 8. By the way, I'm not taking into account the weight of the machine or anything, just to clarify that. But leg press, 190 kilos for 8. Again, wasn't like a huge amount on the leg press, but the focus was a really big stretch at the bottom, making sure I'm fully getting as much range of motion out as I can. And this is still with the squat shoes on, but just for a little bit more heel elevation, because that's probably my limiting factor when it comes to squat depth, and having my feet as low down on the pad, the leg press pad, as they can go. Then we went into laying hamstring curls. I did 40 for 7 reps. Then RDLs, 120 for 7. Single leg curls, 22.5 for a set of 8. In comparison to what it was last week, so belt squat, I was up 40 kilos and I did an additional 2 reps. So last week I did 110 kilos for 9 reps. This week I did 150 for 10. Oh, so there's only one difference. I didn't do leg extensions last week, but I did them this week, so I didn't realise they were on the programme. Leg press wise, I only did 150 last week. This week I did 190, so up 40 kilos. But last week I was feeling fairly ill still. Laying hamstring curl, I did 30 last week. This week I did 40. RDLs last week I went up to 80. This week I went up to 120. Single leg curls, I did 20. This week I did 22.5. And standing cable calf raises, didn't get around to doing them as someone else was using the Smith machine. I also did 20 minutes of sauna afterwards, and I think, touch wood, now I'm feeling back in working order. I can actually speak, I can breathe through my nose, I'm feeling great. Tomorrow's another rest day, then we got back and rear delts, and then triceps and shoulders. So, and then restart the split. Looking onwards, what was I going to say? Yeah, okay. Now we're actually onto the main topic of the video. So if you didn't watch all that, it doesn't matter. This is about creating your own workout program. I've got a few points I want to go over here. So first of all, you need to decide what your aims are. Are you going to be training for strength? Are you going to be training for size? Are you going to be training for endurance? And then you need to create your program accordingly. For a strength program, I'd recommend doing each compound once to twice, maybe twice a week. One heavy session, one light session. Maybe doing a 10-day split, still doing, or a 12-day split, still doing, and everything twice. A lighter session focused on accessory work, and then a heavier session focused on. That's what's worked best for me when it comes to strength gains. Size, I'd say prioritizing a focus of either like a 4-5 day split or a 6-8 day split. It's all kind of dependent on how many days off you need to have, how often you're going to be training, and whether you're splitting into certain muscle groups. So first of all, figure out your availability. How often can you actually get into the gym? Is it 3 days a week? Is it 5 days a week? Can you go every day if you really need to? Brilliant. Okay, so ideally, if you can go every day, only go 5 or 6 days a week. Only go 4 or 5 days a week. That's all you need. Personally, I only do 4. As a natural, you only really need 3 or 4. 5 on a push if you're getting a lot of sleep and you're feeling really great on 4. But just trial it. See how you feel with that. And then body parts, splitting it into body parts. Let's say I'm doing my 4 days a week. I'm hitting everything once a week. So we've got chest and biceps, legs, back, rear delts, shoulders and triceps. So that trains everything. The only thing that I missed there, I guess, are arms and abs, and forearms. Forearms I include in with the tricep session, and abs I don't train because I find I work them plenty enough when doing heavy kind of bent over tricep movements. But yeah, obviously you've got to figure out what split works best for you, what program may work best, whether you want to train certain body parts together. Some people, they have a really, really weird split where it's like biceps and hamstrings and then triceps and quadriceps because it's all straightening. Like you could do something weird like that if that's what works for you. You've got to kind of trial and error, use your brain a bit and figure out what's most comfortable. I'm really enjoying the program I'm on at the minute, so I feel like I'm hitting everything plenty. I'm sore. I'm semi-sore after like every workout. Like a day and a half later, I've got a little bit of DOMS, but not enough where it's difficult for me to do daily tasks. Yeah. Exercises wise, you've got to make sure you're targeting every muscle group that you're training. Let's say for chest, you want to have maybe 2 incline movements, a flat movement, and then a fly movement. Decline isn't really needed because everyone's got a very well developed decline chest, unless you're lacking in a decline chest, which I don't think I've ever seen. Back, for example, you're going to need to do some lat movements for your upper back, movement for your delts, for your traps. It's all about maybe what your current situation is what part of your back do you need to build up most. I'd say my lats are my struggling point at the minute, so I'm doing a lot of pull down and a lot of rowing movements, as well as like one reverse fly movement. So I've got my pullover movement that isolates the lats, and then I've got lots of rows. Bent over rows is my main upper back movement. High to low pull downs, that's my lower lats. Single arm rows, that's kind of my mid back. Reverse pec deck, that's for the rear delts. Reverse dumbbell flies, rear delts again. You've just got to figure out what exercises hit kind of your back in the best way that's prioritized. So what part of the back do you need to grow the most? Is it the lats or is it your upper back? And then train that part first. For example, I train my upper chest first because that's the part of the chest that I need to grow the most. Shoulders, obviously an exercise for each head, maybe 2 if you're feeling fancy. Arms, 2 or 3 exercises for the bicep. You could do 1 in front, 1 behind, and then a third movement either just in front, or you can do a hammer variation to work the brachialis. Triceps, I'd say 3 movements, 1 for each head. 2 if you're feeling fancy. To be honest, you only really need 2 if you're doing it right. I do a single arm movement with my elbow behind my shoulder and hold the elbow behind, so that works the long head in its shortened position. and then I will do a skull crusher variation with the barbell. I spoke about this previously. When you lower it down, you go to your neck instead, so your elbows. It's almost like a close grip bench, but instead of benching it, you bring the bar down as well. And then for legs, obviously, a few movements for your quads, a few for your hamstrings. It's all pretty simple from there on out. But yeah, that's just like the different exercises you can. You've got to find the best exercises that work each different muscle. So make sure you're not leaving any major muscles out or muscle groups, and work with that to make sure that you're not overworking the major muscles as well. So I haven't got 3 movements that just target this one part of my shoulder. You've got to make sure you split everything up so that you're stimulating it enough for growth, but you're not overworking it to the point where it's just going to damage the muscle and risk injury. Adequate recovery is a major part of like what your program should be kind of based around. So make sure you get plenty of days off. So my program now is, I think, 3 days off a week. I'll do 1 day off and then 2 days off. I do sauna after every workout now. I feel amazing after the sauna. I try and stretch, obviously dynamic stretches before the workout, but then static stretching in the evenings before I go to bed. On your rest days, try and keep moving. So just active rest, active recovery, keep the blood flowing to help getting nutrients and whatever's needed to the muscles that are in need of repair after your session that you've just had. That's why sauna's so good, because it helps flush out all the toxins and get all the nutrients kind of around the body. Cardio, I'd say you should be doing 150 minutes a week. That's a really good spot, and that's not even 30 minutes a day. Like, everyone can fit in 30 minutes a day of just walking, jogging, whatever it may be. It's easy, and then your workouts on top of that. If you're only doing 4 days a week, that's fine. That's pretty much it for creating your own program. As long as you're fitting in all the major parts of recovery, make sure you're targeting each muscle correctly, each muscle group that is. Make sure you've got your aims planned out as well, because you need to figure out and make your training specific to what you want to achieve. I'm not going to give a bodybuilding plan to someone who wants to run faster. I'm not going to give a rugby player training program to someone who wants to compete in powerlifting. It's got to be specific to what you want to do. But I hope this video has been really helpful. I've waffled a bit, I've gone off my notes, but if you've got any questions, just drop them in the description. See you in the next video.